about Final Fantasy Union and what the video, and we're gonna react to the video. I love Final Fantasy. Obviously, I'm gonna be on the Final Fantasy Union channel. Obviously, what do you expect? I'm a down low motherfucking peasant person for fucking Final Fantasy. What do you expect, bro? What do you fucking expect? I'm a low down, low down.
Jobs are a core part of the Final Fantasy franchise's DNA. Right now, Final Fantasy XIV is serving as the literal poster child of this approach, with 2 or 3 new jobs being added with every expansion. And although many have dipped into the franchise's storied past, we've even started to see some original jobs being created, such as Reaper and Viper. Due to the nature of that particular experience, everything has to be pretty well balanced, so the game's meta doesn't really favor one particular
whole thing about the job system on Final Fantasy. There's so many jobs, and you can do so much stuff with them. That's why I like Final Fantasy Tactics and whatnot, bruh. You could use these type of jobs to do any fucking thing, bruh. I want to get back on Final Fantasy 14 so much, but I just don't have the money for it right now. But I will get that Viper job. I already got the Reaper job, and I already got it up to, I think, 90. Level 90. I just have to get the expansion to get up to 100. I think it is. But I'm gonna be very late to these expansions because I'd rather go to the Philippines and waste my time being on this game. I'm gonna probably wait until I get to the Philippines just to go back playing the game. But I will get back on the game. I will. And I will.
job over another. But that same notion has seldom been seen within the offline games, and it's led to the creation of some jobs that, within their respective universes, have become borderline broken, and were definitely overpowered. It's those jobs that we're going to run through in this video, with the caveat of only picking one job per game. Many of the jobs we'll feature in this list will also be appearing in our third book, The Defenders of the Crystal, which is being crowdfunded right now and has already smashed through its funding goal. It will contain information on over 80 jobs.
And this is why I like GOG too, because they're bringing back all the older games. They're bringing back Mobius, bruh. Mobius Final Fantasy. Hopefully they will do that. They got it on the whatchamacallit right now. Yeah, I'm a patron. They got this voting system going on their here we go, GOG Dreamless. My votes. I will show you my votes right now. Bloodborne, Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy Tactics. Oof, bruh. They are bringing back Dirge of Cerberus, bruh. They are bringing back the snowboarding, the digital card game. They are bringing back so many Final Fantasy games, bruh. They are even bringing back the Attack on Titan shit. I'm a Mobius. There we go, Mobius. Yup, there we go. Let me get it back again. There we go. Bruh, they're bringing back Mobius. Mobius Final Fantasy that was on mobile, bruh. I used to love this game so fucking much, bruh. I used to love it. If they bring this shit back, I'm gonna be straight on this motherfucking shit. Plus Bloodborne, plus all the other fucking games, bruh. You will see me on this motherfucking shit. If they bring back the Need for Speed World, I'm gonna be very impressed. I'm gonna be, yeah. I'm I'm putting all my money on motherfucking GOG, bruh. I'll be like the meme. Take my money. Take my money, bruh. Oh, baby. I will be like that motherfucking meme. GOG is bringing back all the fucking good games. This is why I love fucking GOG. Let's see if they have Need for Speed Need for Speed World. I used to play Need for Speed World all the fucking time, bruh. No, they don't have it yet. Maybe. Yup, they do have it. Yup, I'm putting my vote on it. Bruh. If they bring this back too, ooh, bruh. Ooh, man, bruh. I'ma jizz on myself so motherfucking bad. Bloodborne, Mobius Final Fantasy, and Need for Speed World. Bruh, you won't catch me going outside in all my life. I'm gonna be fucking going to my job, taking care of my girls, well, my children, and my adopted stepchildren, I should say. My babe, and then I'm gonna be playing my games, bruh. You won't catch me out fucking side. I'm gonna be that homebody. The homebody, bruh. I'm gonna be that homebody, bruh. The bruh. Ah, bruh. You don't even know. You don't even know, bruh. You don't even know. They're bringing back Carbon, bruh. Yeah, one of my favorite games, bruh. They're bringing back the Run. Ooh, bruh. They're bringing back all these motherfucking games. And I am loving the shit out of them for this. How about Most Wanted? Not the Most Wanted that y'all seen. The Most Wanted. Oh, they got Own the City. This was on PSP. This one. Why the demo disc though? Hopefully this is the Most Wanted. Oh, here we go. Damn, this is beating, bruh. This in another game is beating. I think it's Final Fantasy X. Is beating fucking Bloodborne. I don't get why. Bloodborne was, bruh. Yeah, no, yeah. This is Okay, yeah, this is beating Bloodborne. Uh, let's see the highest amount of votes. Most votes. Okay, so yeah, you got Need for Speed Underground 2, Need for Speed Most Wanted, then Bloodborne, then Final Fantasy 10, bruh. How about Underground? I need to get off this fucking shit. I need to do my fucking hell video. But this is, bruh, Freelancer is beating fucking. That's crazy. I meant to do this too. Hold up. Where's my emulators at? Star Ocean is called, I think. Yeah, Star Ocean. One of my favorite games is Star Ocean. Let's see if they have it. Star. It's basically kind of like Final Fantasy. Yep, they do got Star Ocean. You already know, bro. You already fucking know. You already fucking know. I am gonna be that motherfucker who's gonna want Star Ocean. Yeah. You can't get me to stop loving GOG. Bruh. You're not. You're obviously not. Because they bringing back all the fucking good games. Need for Speed. And they're being honest about what they're doing, bruh. And you already know what GOG stands for, right? Good old games. But yeah, bruh. If they bring these fucking shits back, bruh, I'm gonna be very fucking excited.
From across the main numbered Final Fantasy games and their associated
Mhm.
sequels. And alongside featuring a foreword by Jesse Cox, it will house some incredible pieces of key art that have been
Yeah.
created specifically for this book. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, you can check it out through the link in the description below.
I do
Now,
want to get
let's-
that.
After being established as a core mechanic in the original Final Fantasy, jobs
Mhm.
returned in Final Fantasy III. And they were made
Why they
even
have to
more
bring the-
distinct than they were before through the
3D
introduction of
version?
bespoke commands. However, some jobs had their functions altered, even if new commands were not yet introduced. And perhaps one of the best examples of this was delivered by the Ninja job. Obtained in Eureka right at the end of the game, Ninja had strong stat growth against strength, agility, and vitality, and they could equip almost every weapon in the game,
There we go.
which when combined made them incredibly powerful
Yup.
and versatile. But their main benefit came from a hidden command. Shuriken
But the thing about the ninjas are they were very weak when it came to the HP, because they got high evasion, but if they get hit, they can get one hit, bruh. They're a glass cannon. But yeah.
could also be bought in Eureka. and they had an attack power of 200, which was higher than every other weapon in the game except the Onion Sword. If a ninja equipped a shuriken as their normal weapon, the standard fight command then allowed them to throw the shuriken and consume it. And this allowed them to deal incredible amounts of damage without having to go through the process of acquiring the Onion Sword and maximizing the Onion Knight job. Relatively speaking, this made ninja incredibly overpowered, and if you had enough cash to buy a mountain of shuriken, there wasn't much in the original Famicom version that could pose a problem. For the 3D remake and Pixel remaster versions, ninja were given the permanent throw command, but shuriken, while in the hands of a ninja, were just as lethal. Fans to a very different type of Final Fantasy experience, and this notion could be seen on multiple levels. Not only did the game venture into the multiverse trope to act as a
Stranger of Paradise thing about Stranger of Paradise, people say it's a Dark Souls like game. I don't think it is, bruh. I mean, it does have the gameplay of a Dark Souls like, but to me, I don't think it is.
pseudo sequel of the original Final Fantasy, but also a pseudo prequel. It introduced fans to a new genre, as through Jack Garland, we got exposed to some pretty extreme action role-playing gameplay that blended elements of how Team Ninja had added their own spin on the Soulsborne genre, with classic Final Fantasy elements such as jobs. In that regard, not only were there plenty of original jobs created, but many more were brought back from the franchise's illustrious past. And one of the more intriguing and massively overpowered was the Sage. Given its first appearance in Final Fantasy III,
one of my favorite jobs was the Sage, because the Sage was very overpowered when it came to magic. They could destroy any fucking enemy with magic, bro.
where it was the ultimate mate form, the power of Sage in Stranger of Paradise wasn't too surprising. But players have still been shocked at how savage the Sage can be when used by someone who's experienced with how the gameplay operates. Sage was classified as an expert job, and it required suitable progression with White Mage and Black Mage to unlock. In the most basic sense, Sage allowed players access to powerful black and white magic within the same spell wheel, with casting time reductions applied to subsequent spells cast from the same school of magic. This already made them very useful, but the true power came after the job was mastered and Ultima was learned. After casting 3 black magic spells and 3 white magic spells, Jack became able to cast Ultima. And this spell had incredible power, while also having a huge area of effect. A single cast of Ultima could wipe out most regular enemies and also deal significant damage to the toughest bosses. But it could be pushed even further when paired with other jobs. The Sage's Achilles heel was MP. After this ran out, Sages were sitting ducks as their physical prowess was incredibly poor. However, if, for example, Sage was paired with the Cyclic Warrior, they got access to the Chaos Bringer command ability, which granted a temporary state where all abilities and spells cost 0 MP. In this state, players could simply spam quick cast low-tier black and white magic spells to build up sigils rapidly, then cast Ultima for 0 MP cost to completely destroy whatever was standing in front of them. Final Fantasy Tactics A2 Grimoire of the Rift was another game that featured a plethora of jobs, and this led to plenty of fun interpretations.
This game was so beautifully made, bruh. Let's see if GOG... Actually, I think GOG do have it, bro. If they bring this on GOG also, I would stop playing the emulator version, because I will actually stream this game on my channel I just don't like the dual screen on it, bruh. With the dual screen, it gets on my nerves, bruh. Uh, Final Fantasy. Leave me alone. I always will love GOG. Okay. Okay. But yeah, you will. If I'm doing a gaming react, you gonna see me on GOG probably. Probably. Because, bruh, I'm a push this through, bruh. I'm a really push this software through because a lot of people need to get this shit. A lot of people do need to get this shit because they are doing so much for the gaming community. I wish GOG would be for Linux. Yeah, this is A2, right? Yeah, A2, Grimoires of the Rift. But yeah, I don't think it is for Linux. Because obviously I will fucking put this on my fucking Linux, bro. If Final Fantasy 14, any of the Final Fantasies, any of the games I play becomes useful on becomes able to play on Linux, I will change to Linux. But I'm just not going to right now. On my gaming computer, I'm not because in order for me to change to Linux, I'm gonna have to have this shit on my gaming computer, bruh. Let's see. Can Bezite run Windows games? Oh, it uses Proton. How about Final Fantasy 14? I might have to change. I might have to change. Run Epic Games. Yes, I might have to change. I might have to change, bruh. What other games? What other games do I love play? Love to play. Kingdom Hearts. Hearts. Yup. Yup. Uh-huh. Yep. PC. Yep. I may have to change. What other games? The Witcher. I might have to do a test. I might have to do a Bazite test. Black Desert. Black. Desert PC. Prototype. Steam. Yep. I might have to change. Yep. You see this shit? It says because of Proton, it can run Windows games, classic games, any games that you will see that won't run on Linux, it can run through Bazite, basically. I might have to see how I might have to figure out how to use Proton, but I should be able to do that for real.
Especially as a lot of jobs were locked to being used by only one specific race. This ensured parties often had a lot of diversity, but not all jobs were equal in terms of their application in combat, as while some were relatively weak, others...
Thing about the Ranger on this game too that was bad was there are certain Ranger abilities that had no accuracy at all, and it was a waste to use them because a waste of a turn to use them because 87% of the time they will fucking miss. I mean, I do love the Ranger, but yeah, the Ranger is overpowered, but some of them attacks are just crazy bad, bruh.
like the Ranger were obscenely powerful. Created as a Seek exclusive spin-off from the Hunter job that had featured in Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, the Ranger job was all about showing an affinity with nature and living in the wild. As such, even though they were able to use knives and bows to hunt their prey, their main in-game application was through the Survivalism command ability. This allowed Rangers to set traps for enemies that could deal damage and inflict debilitating status effects. But they could also use their knowledge to
I was thinking about the sniper, my bad. The Ranger you can act. The bad thing about Rangers are when it came to monsters you wanted to capture, there were certain monsters that were very hard to capture, but if you really capture them, you could do a big amount of damage. A whole lot amount of damage. But you gotta you gonna you gotta you gotta know and be aware you're risking your ranger's life upon capturing these enemies, these monsters, I mean, because if for my experience, a lot of these enemies will really go after your rangers.
Manipulate the effectiveness of items. A similar concept had been incorporated into Final Fantasy XII through the Nihilpolar accessory. This allowed the wearer.
I haven't beat this game yet, but I really want to beat this game. If I had stayed with my PS3 or PS4 or whatnot, I had the whole collection of PS3, PS2, PS4. The only one I didn't have, I had PS5. The only one I didn't have was PS1. Bruh. I had a whole collection, but I had to sell them because I was losing money. I was workless and I'm in jobless and I needed to pay rent, so yeah. But I'm gonna put this game on my Steam and one day we're gonna play this on my other channel. I'm gonna beat this game. I've been wanting to beat this game. I gotten close to beating this game, but I was doing so much fucking stupid shit, bruh. But this game is one of the best games throughout the PS2 generation.
To reverse the effect of restorative items, turning various forms of potions into effective methods of dealing damage, while curatives could cause status effects instead of healing them. Rangers had the same power through their Mirror Items command, but when combined with their passive item lore support ability, which doubled the potency of items, it could lead to game-breaking consequences. By using X potions, for example, Rangers could deal damage in the hundreds with relative ease. And similar methods could also be applied to susceptible enemies by using Phoenix Downs, which could be obtained much earlier in the game and much more easily. Final Fantasy X-2 incorporated a fresh take on the job chase mechanic through the introduction of dress spheres and garment grids. And although this allowed for plenty of fun takes on classic jobs, there was also room for some more out-there dress spheres, such as the mascot. Acting as a direct reference to the beginning of the game, where Yuna went incognito during the opening mission by dressing up in a Moogle costume, the mascot dress sphere saw each of the three characters donning costumes based on famous Final Fantasy mascots. Yuna, as mentioned, resurfaced her costume from that opening sequence, while Riku dressed up as Cait Sith and Paine wore a Tonberry costume. Beyond that, each also had a specific weapon, with Yuna wielding a Moomba, Riku a Poo-Poo, and Rain a Cactuar. To unlock the mascot dress sphere required quite a bit of work though, as in the original version of the game, players had to achieve episode complete in every location in Spira. But this was changed in the HD remaster version to have mascot be obtained after achieving victory in the Youth League tournament in the Fiend Arena, but only after beating the Grand Cup hard variant 6 times. The reward was worth it though, as it provided very high stat boosts, and each character was given unique abilities that aligned with their chosen mascot, as well as complete access to 2 other dress spheres without having to use a garment grid. Some of these
When I do get this game, I'm gonna get that mascot job.
were passive, while others were active, but they were all incredibly powerful. All characters, for example, had access to Ribbon as an auto ability, as well as Auto Shell and Auto Protect. But Yuna's
Damn.
Kupo command ability contained fantastic healing functionality. Riku's Wildcat offered great enfeebling, and Pain, well, we all know how troublesome Tombras are, and she
Yeah.
was given the ability to wield the chef's knife. Final Fantasy V saw a significant expansion of the job roster compared to Final Fantasy III.
Bruh, the chemist on Final Fantasy Tactics, on Final Fantasy V, bruh. On Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions, bruh. Ooh, the chemist got me through so much. Got me through so much shit, bruh, on this game. Really got me through so much shit. I love the chemist for that.
And to ensure this made sense, Hiroyuki Ito and the rest of his team ensured that any new jobs were part of a broader spectrum of utility. This meant that instead of simply adding more derivative jobs or padding the roster with jobs that were similar in function to those that already existed, they tried hard to produce unique use cases. And one of the most useful jobs that was created as a result of this push was the chemist. In the crudest of senses, the chemist's job was based around advanced knowledge of pharmaceuticals, which manifested
Yeah.
through their innate pharmacology support ability. This allowed chemists to double the potency of any potions or ethers, and this was irrespective of the items based here. In the early game, when MP was more scarce, this made chemists incredibly valuable. But as players
Yeah.
gained access to stronger consumables, and weaker ones became less financially cost prohibitive, the effectiveness of chemists only became more pronounced. Alongside this, chemists brought back the now defunct drink command ability. In the original Final Fantasy, it had only allowed players to use a potion or an antidote, and as such, it was subsequently consolidated into the item command. In Final Fantasy V, drink allowed chemists to consume special tonics that could provide temporary stat boosts and positive status effects without the use of magic, making it much more useful. The final feather in the chemist's cap was the mix command. This allowed for the combining of 2 items together to make a new item, and the applications here were wide-reaching. These new creations fell into 10 different categories, ranging from very potent healing effects such as Reincarnate, through to damage-dealing effects such as Shadow Flare. And when these aspects were combined, chemists could rip the game wide open.
Yeah.
After the success of the Final Fantasy III and IV remakes for the Nintendo DS, instead of jumping into delivering the same kind of treatment for Final Fantasy V and VI, the same team got straight to work on creating an original Final Fantasy that would serve as an evolution of everything they'd built so far. From a gameplay perspective, this saw jobs transitioned into being called crowns, and although some, like White Mage and Monk, were quite obvious in their inspirations, others were more unorthodox, at least from a Final Fantasy perspective. As Square had now merged with Enix, the developers took inspiration from not just earlier Final Fantasy games, but also Dragon Quest games, and this saw the inclusion of references back to some older vocations, such as Merchant, which debuted in Dragon Quest III. In Final Fantasy The Four Heroes of Light, the Merchant Crown could be obtained after defeating the demon in Urbeth, and on face value,
I don't like this type of art style when it comes to these certain particular Final Fantasy games, but I may have to play this game just to play the merchant job. The Four Heroes of Light. Cool.
the crown wasn't that great. It had no natural affinity with any weapon type, and its stats were also poor across the board. This was intentional though, as the crown did not function in a traditional manner. Instead of using regular attacks and abilities to deal damage, with that damage influenced by core character stats or enhanced by equipment, Merchant revolved around currency. In the most basic sense, merchants could be used to increase the drop rate of gems, something that had broad effects, as gems were a crucial component when it came to enhancing specific crowns or equipment. Beyond this, merchants had two other benefits though, one of which, called Ransom, allowed them to avoid taking HP damage by spending gil, and the other, called Money Talks, provided the opposite function. This was, of course, a reference to another Final Fantasy ability called Gil Toss, but its implementation in the Four Heroes of Light was pretty incredible. At the cost of only 1,000 gil, Money Talks delivered piercing damage to a single opponent in the front row, with the damage dealt equal to 1% of the player's total gil stash. And this meant those who opted to hoard instead of spend had an incredible asset when it came to dealing massive amounts of damage.
It takes 90 seconds for this NASA-engineered AC cool down your room. It's smaller than a toaster, cools any room in 90 seconds, and uses just a fraction of the energy of a regular.
That then brings us to perhaps one of the most broken jobs in the history of the franchise, the Arithmetician from Final Fantasy Tactics, or Calculator.
Yup, the Arithmetician was a badass job. It was basically a mage, but uses math to destroy their enemies, basically. Bruh. You would have to know how the Arithmetician works, but once you figure out how it works, it will destroy any enemy. I think it's all divisible to a certain number, I think. All the magic, I think. I can't remember correctly, but I think it was that.
As it was known in the original localization. Arithmetician served as a magic-focused job that used mathematics to analyze aspects of the battlefield, such as relative terrain height, experience, level multiples, and prime numbers to determine which units were affected by its attacks. And if everything aligned, the results could be pretty devastating. But because of this, to become an Arithmetician required some investment, as a unit needed both White Mage and Black Mage at level 5, and Mystic and Time Mage at level 4. Using the Arithmetics job command, Arithmeticians were able to target multiple enemy units at once with high-level magic using the aforementioned mathematical calculations. But the other benefit was that distance did not matter. There was no charge time.
This has to be on the Steam version because I played the original version and it didn't look like this. So this has to be on Steam. The whole UI looks so much different.
From Final Fantasy Tactics, or Calculator, as it was known in the original localization.
I'm seeing
Arithmetician served as
maybe if I take a screenshot. I'm gonna take a screenshot of it. Hold up. Okay. Full screen. And I'm gonna look this one up. Okay, so search the web. Upload an image. Pictures. A screenshot. Oh, it took a picture of my other Fuck you. Hold up. Window. There we go. Search. Okay. Let me just do it like this. If it will let me motherfucking go to the image search. What the fuck? Upload an image. Here we go. Okay, so it is from the Steam version. Yeah, this is from the Steam version. Has to be. Maybe. Yeah, this is the newer version of this game because I don't remember it looking this good basically. Uh I do want to play this game though. This is one of my favorite games. Let's see how it looks on Steam. Okay. Final Fantasy Tactics. Yep. Yeah, it looks like the same. Yup, it looks the same. It's just so fucking expensive. The deluxe. Why is there a deluxe edition to this game? Because this game used to be free when it first came out. Well, it's you didn't have add-ons basically. You still had to pay for the game, but you didn't have add-ons to the game. So, what do you get with the deluxe edition? I think you get just it's just the complete soundtrack. Fuck. Let's see how much it cost on GOG. Let's see. GOG. That doesn't make sense at all. It really doesn't. They don't have it yet. They don't have it yet. They probably will get it since they're bringing back games from way back when. And they go Final Fantasy 9. Final Fantasy 9 for $6.29, bruh. I'm about to buy this shit. I haven't beaten this one yet, so I'm about to beat this shit, bruh. I am about to beat this motherfucking game. Add the cart. You see me add this to the cart. And if I don't get it with the deal, it will be $20.99. I don't mind that, bro, because this is a good game. Now, if it was 40 or 50 like fucking Steam, bro, why? Why Steam? Alright, so we're gonna go back to Steam to see how much this costs. I mean, yeah, I don't like this art type, this art style, but I do like this game though. This game is so beautiful, bro. It's just a shame that these fucktards are really selling this game for $20.99 on Steam when they could just do the same thing with GOG and sell it for $7.99 or $6.29. That's what it was.
As a magic-focused job that used mathematics to analyze aspects of the battlefield such as relative terrain height, experience, level multiples, and prime numbers to determine which units were affected by its attacks. And if everything aligned, the results could be pretty devastating. But because of this, to become an arithmetician required some investment, as a unit needed both White Mage and Black Mage at level 5, and Mystic and Time Mage at level 4. Using the arithmetics job command, arithmeticians were able to target multiple enemy units at once with high-level magic using the aforementioned mathematical calculations. But the other benefit was that distance did not matter, and there was no charge time cost. This meant arithmeticians were able to attack from anywhere on the battlefield and with a wide array of spells from across a spectrum of magical jobs. But while arithmetic's abilities could be incredibly powerful, they came at the expense of either the risk of friendly fire or giving enemies buffs and accidentally healing them. Luckily, this downside could be mitigated with some careful planning and clever strategy, but it's for this reason that arithmeticians are often heralded for their game-breaking potential. But with that, they were 7 overpowered jobs that broke Final Fantasy games. Be sure to let us know in the comments below which of these you've made use of over the years, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button and
power to you, Final Fantasy Union. I love your content just like I do with Astro Dior and Yondom Reacts, all the people I like to watch. Bruh, if you're not a Final Fantasy person, you should try it one time. One time. Any of the older games. One time, bruh. I bet you will love at least one of them. At least one of them. I know at least one of them. Because they got so many games under different genres, bruh. Stranger of Paradise, like other people, well, I don't think it is a Dark Souls-like game. You got MMOs, you got shooters like Dirge of Cerberus, which gonna come out on GOG. You got the classic Final Fantasies, which are I forgot what they're called, the older play style games. You got tactical games under Final Fantasy, bruh. bruh, these games from Final Fantasy are one of the best games you would play. You can play on your consoles. It's just so sad that Final Fantasy is now becoming an AI friendly company. And it's too bad that Final Fantasy is they rather use AI to push their games instead of traditional employees, which these people were back the supreme game makers of Final Fantasy. They put their all in these fucking games, bruh. Yeah, some people didn't like them. Some people really loved them. Like me. But there is no way in hell an AI can substitute games like these for fucking employee made games, people made games. There is no way in hell an AI can make a game that look and play like a human made this type of game. Yeah, you got people who are, I will show you, on job boards that are indeed actually you got AI trainers basically that are helping to in their remote jobs. You got to know your code and whatnot, but you got AI trainers that are making this AI thing more intelligent, but they're not gonna be making as good games as humans, bruh. Ain't no way in hell. Yeah, they might look good, but they're not gonna play as good, bruh. Here we go. You're not gonna play as good. Just like how you see data scientists, AI trainers, software designers. Bruh. This is how these people are, how these AI software are getting better because of these type of people, the AI trainers. They're getting paid good money though, but sorry, but not for me, bro. Not for me. But I'll see y'all later. I gotta get prepared for work for tomorrow. Yeah. And Def is out.
Understand my overhand right and break his face. I sent your posters, they a waste of space. This shit look like it sucked like Macy Gray. I like Macy Gray, but